Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Excuse the background. Right now, we decided to go regular setup. We'll do our normal setup another time. So excuse the background, but we got a bit of a breaking story that we want to get into here today. So we just want everybody to catch up to this live. We got a lot to talk about today with this Kyrie Irving story. Pretty big one. Pretty big one. So make sure you check. Make sure you check in and let us know where you're coming from when you get in here. And then let me just get the article ready for you guys here. Pretty big story. Pretty big story. Pretty big story. And there's a lot that I want to talk about. I'm sure a lot of people. Hey, Maryland, what's up? Maybe some of y'all know I was born in Maryland. What's up from Maryland? Shout out to San Antonio, Boston in the house. Never been to Boston, but welcome in. Louisiana, Indiana. What else we got? Oakland, New England. Wow. DMV. Yes, welcome in. Minneapolis, Harrisburg, New Mexico. Pretty cool. Clinton, Maryland, Kansas City, Missouri, Washington, D.C. We got D.C. in the house, Chicago, Philly, Savannah, I didn't see that. Let me go back to that. Savannah, GA, Alonzo, okay. Philippines, wow. Harlem, what's good? Harlem. Yes. Fort Worth, Texas, New England, Germany, Houston, Texas. We got a lot of people from Texas here. What's good? North Carolina, Texas, yes. BX Borough, Bushwick, New Jersey, yes. Fort Lauderdale, yeah. It's good to have you guys in here. Africa, welcome in. Ghana, welcome in. Cleveland, Ohio. Damn, we got a lot of people in here, man. Pleasure to have all of you guys in here. Bahamas, wow. Bahamas, that's crazy. Rhode Island, Brooklyn, Chi-Town, Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, Columbus, Ohio, PA. Yo, Italy, welcome in from Italy. Detroit, London, Florida, Inglewood. So many places that I've never been to that I like to visit, man. So we want to thank all of you guys for Dayton, Ohio, ATL. Never been to Atlanta. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Princess D. London is crazy. South Carolina, Bronx, New York. Yes, Detroit, Long Island. Thank all of you guys for coming in, man. Appreciate that. So we got a pretty big story for you guys here today. We're gonna be talking about this Kyrie Irving thing. Now, funny enough, we actually had some content planned, and then all of a sudden, Prom Strings was good, Bronx was good, Irving was good. By the forum, yes. We didn't have this planned. I was just sitting here, and then I got a notification from ESPN saying that Nike has decided to part ways with Kyrie Irving. And I was like, wait, what? I couldn't believe it. So actually, we're getting this from an ESPN article, and also for the people coming in. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, our Instagram account. If you want to follow us there, send us messages, video ideas, whatever. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, although I'm not really that active on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I'm going to post that right here as well. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter. But anyway, so we got this article here from ESPN, and it basically says Nike officially terminates partnership with Kyrie Irving. After initially suspending his partnership with Kyrie Irving and scrapping the release of his upcoming Kyrie 8 signature shoes last month, Nike confirmed Monday that it has fully cut ties with the Brooklyn Nets point guard. Kyrie is no longer a Nike athlete. A Nike company spokesperson told ESPN. Irving's signature endorsement agreement with the company was set to expire on October 1, 2023. The deal was abruptly suspended 11 months before expiring after Irving posted a link on social media that we're going to get to a book and movie containing anti-Semitic messaging. Kyrie stepped over the line. It's kind of that simple, Phil Knight told CNBC on November 10th. He made some statements that we just can't abide by, and that's why we ended the relationship. I was fine with it. Knight's comments 3 weeks ago were understood throughout the industry to signal a confirmation that the partnership was indeed fully terminated ahead of its expiration. We have mutually decided to part ways and wish Nike the best in the future endeavors. Irving's agent, Riley Irving, I'm assuming that's a family member, told CNBC earlier Monday. Around 68% of NBA players wear Nike sneakers in games. In each season, since the launch of the Kyrie 1. The annual Kyrie model has become one of the most worn shoes across the league. To date, 164 players had worn the Kyrie 7 in games, according to data from kickstats.com. So, y'all heard the news. You guys can go read it on ESPN. Okay, his stepmom is an agent. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for that. You guys heard the news that Nike now is officially parting ways. And I want to deep dive on this live. I noticed that on some of the lives that we do, we're kind of like in a rush. And I noticed that a lot of people, whenever we do these lives, they usually ask us questions like, hey, man, why didn't you say this? Why didn't you talk about this? Why didn't you talk about that? So today, I just want to take my time with it. If you guys would be patient with me, I want to address some of the questions that people are going to have and just really get into this. Now, this Kyrie Irving story, if we're talking about sports stories, to be honest with you guys, man, it's unlike anything I've seen before, to be honest with you guys. I got to think back to an athlete that had the whole world come down on him this hard, this fast. I can't think of anybody. You think of Tiger Woods, okay? Tiger Woods had the issues with his former ex-wife, and Nike stood by him. We know that. We had another big issue with Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. Okay, Mike Vick. Did Nike drop Mike Vick? Did they drop Mike Vick? I don't know. Did they? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Did they drop Mike Vick? Or was he a Nike athlete? Maybe some of you guys will tell me. I don't know. Okay, they did drop him. I think they continued to, okay, people are saying yes. But I think they still continue to support Colin Kaepernick, who was very, very polarizing. They stuck by Kobe Bryant, who had the court case. They stuck by him. But in the case of Kyrie Irving, they decided to let him go. Now, what's different about maybe say Kyrie and these other figures is that I believe that what they did in terms of Tiger Woods, Kobe, those things really you could tell that they stirred up a lot of controversy. Like, rape allegations. I don't want to use the word, but are allegations. It's a pretty serious thing. Then you had the Tiger Woods thing, even the Colin Kaepernick thing with the kneeling. It created so much conversation. So you can see how those things can be polarizing. In the case of Kyrie Irving, I'm trying to understand what made Nike drop him. Was it him posting the link, or was it the things that he said after he posted the link? Because if it was about him simply posting the link, then it means that there needs to be a larger conversation, not just about Kyrie Irving, but in this case, we got to talk about Amazon. Does Amazon have any culpability in all of this? Now, recently, I heard a report, I forgot where I heard it from, where I believe the CEO of Amazon, or maybe the head of the chief of the person head of products or something like this, I believe it was a woman. And Amazon, I believe they basically said that they told the public basically to go kick rocks. Let me see. Kyrie Irving, Amazon movie. Let me just see what they said. Amazon CEO said, and I'm getting this from ESPN.com. Amazon CEO, no plans to stop selling film at center of Kyrie Irving suspension. New York, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said Wednesday the company does not have plans to stop selling the film that gained notoriety recently after Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving tweeted out an Amazon link to it. Pressure has been mounting on Amazon to discontinue sales of film called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, since Irving shared the link to the documentary with millions of Twitter followers in October. The synopsis on Amazon says the film uncovers the true identity. So basically, she continues on to say, as a retailer, this is Amazon, as a retailer of content to hundreds of millions of customers with a lot of different viewpoints, we have to allow access to those viewpoints, even if they are objectionable, and they differ from our particular views. That's what the CEO said. So the question then becomes, welcome in from Texas. The question then becomes, how is it possible that Kyrie Irving is the only one being punished in all of this? And I think what's happened since Shaq and Charles Barkley and these guys made their comments, I think now that the thing has kind of died down and Kyrie Irving has come back to play basketball, I think you see a lot of people like just yesterday, I was watching a Vlad interview with John Michael White. John Michael, yes, White, the martial artist and movie actor, and he said he was confused because he said he was trying to find out what exactly did Kyrie Irving say. And to me, for Nike to drop him, especially after he served his punishment, his suspension, he went through the 6 steps. Michael Jai White, yes, thank you for that. Especially after he served this, he went through the 6-step process. Are you telling me that? I mean, so what was it for? What was it for? I don't see how Kyrie Irving's situation has improved since he went through that process. I don't see how it's improved. He lost his deal with Nike. His public image is taking a hit. And now the next company that may decide to take a bet or take a gamble on Kyrie Irving may risk being also blackballed or having certain groups come after them. So the question is, has Kyrie Irving essentially been canceled? I mean, if Kyrie Irving, think about this for a second. Kyrie Irving is on the last year of his contract. If another team doesn't pick up Kyrie Irving after this year, Kyrie Irving could go from being one of the most sought after, most spectacular players to watch to now not being a sponsored athlete and possibly out of the NBA. What's going on? It's crazy. That's the first thing to say about that. I want to get to another aspect of this. I want to talk about a part of this conversation that I don't feel we spent enough time talking about in these short shows that we produce. Thank you guys for being in here. Appreciate all of you guys. For the people that are coming in, welcome. We thank you guys. We want to talk about this Kyrie Irving thing. He just got dropped by Nike. I want to talk about this thing about ownership for a second. I want to spend some time talking about that, and I want us to have a conversation. If anybody has questions and all that, let's have a conversation about this. Listen, I think it's time that Blacks begin to have a mental shift towards other things. This Kyrie Irving situation is an example of when money and ownership, you can clearly see the big difference. There are those individuals that are rich. There are many rich Black Americans or American Blacks or whatever, but there are very few that own anything. And those that have businesses are always tied to another entity. There are very few, quote unquote, Blacks that are successful, independent of other companies, where they're only beholden to their customers. These are the stakeholders. It's not maybe some big bank or maybe somebody distributing something that you want. It's none of that. There are very few of these people. A lot of them get rich through a vehicle that they don't own. A lot of them. If you look at music, usually it's through the distribution deals. And then from there, they now gain some type of notoriety. And then you got to go on the road to make some money. And a lot of times you hear musicians always crying about them not owning their publishing, their masters. They don't own the companies. You have that situation. In the case of athletes, athletes are essentially very high paid employees, very high paid. And I think that, to me, if you read the story of Nike, what is it? I read the book. What is it? Something dog. I can't remember the name. Something dog. I read the book. Anyway, Marco, the co-founder, he's here. Marco, if you remember it, just post it in the comment. Also, say what's up to Marco. Marco's here. He's also watching it live. Marco, if you remember it, just post it in the comments. I can't remember the shoe dog. No. Anyway, there's a book called Phil Knight's whatever, Shoe Dog, whatever the company is. Anyway, I read that book. Okay, I read that book. And to be quite honest with you, I don't see why some of these guys cannot come together and take the initiative to start creating their own things. I don't see why. Even if you look at Shaq and all of these guys, they're going through Reebok, they're going through all of these. You already have the platform. All it takes is one or two or three players that have the force, that have the creativity and the audacity to say, wait a minute, why don't we make our own shoe? For as crazy as LeVar Ball, is it LeVar Ball? Yeah, LeVar Ball seemed. For as crazy as he seemed, LeVar Ball is more business-minded. LeVar Ball is more business-minded than 99% of the athletes you're going to see today. LeVar Ball. He's more business-minded than most of these guys. He is. Because although his idea failed, shout out to Stephon Marbury, yes. Although his idea failed, his concept was made public. Now, people were laughing at LeVar Ball because it's like, here's this guy talking about his son is better than better than LeBron James. The guy we haven't even seen him dribble a ball. And now he's talking about selling his shoes at this crazy price. Well, obviously he was going to sell them at that high price because of the manufacturing. So you have to make a profit on top of it. Now imagine if a LeBron or maybe, I don't know, a Ja Morant, and I believe Ja Morant is about to come. And funny enough, as Nike is dropping Kyrie, 1 second, I believe I heard that Ja Morant just received a shoe deal from Nike. We're getting this from Bleacher Report. Look at that. Bleacher Report just reported Ja Morant to receive signature shoe after Kyrie's Irving's exit. Ja Morant is getting his signature shoe. Nike reportedly will be working with the Memphis Grizzlies star point guard on a signature line of sneakers after dropping Kyrie Irving on Monday. Shams Charania on Twitter said, Memphis Grizzly all-star Ja Morant is in line to receive a new signature shoe at Nike in the near future, industry sources tell The Athletic. Parties have been working on it for several months. Look at it. Isn't this what we're talking about? We're talking about boycott Nike. And by the way, I'm not taking any shot at Ja Morant because Ja Morant may not be interested in this whole talk that we're talking about. He may not be interested. He may not be interested in starting his own shoe. He may not be interested in any of that. He may not be following the Kyrie Irving story. He may just be like, I want my own shoe and I love Nike. So this is in no way a shot at Ja Morant at all. He may just not be interested in it. He may not be. But I want us to use the example of Ja Morant. John Morant, if we're talking about star power and future star power, he has more future star power than Kyrie Irving. John Morant does. I'm not talking about being a better basketball player. We're talking about marketability. John Morant is going to be one of the biggest things in sports. One of the biggest things. Imagine if a John Morant had his own shoe company. Or matter of fact, if maybe a LeBron or maybe some of these guys put together their own shoe company the way they put together Clutch Sports and signed to John Morant. Somebody said, what did I miss? Nike has dropped Kyrie Irving from their roster. He is no longer a Nike athlete. His contract has been terminated. For those asking. So I know there are a lot of people seeing this and they're upset. But folks, it's time to start thinking about ownership. And I mean in a real way. In a real way. The amount of money that blacks spend on things that they don't own is staggering. It is a staggering volume of money on brands that you have zero. You can't even say, oh, well, we have shares in it. That don't count. The amount of money that they spend on brands that they don't own is a staggering amount. A staggering. But here's the problem. It's not enough to tell them, oh, boycott this thing, boycott that thing. You can tell them, hey, boycott this thing. Fine. But people still want to spend. People still want to look good. People still want their kids to have nice shoes that makes them feel good. So it's not just about stopping the spending. It's about somebody else or other people creating alternatives. And then say, get a LeBron, get one of these, well, maybe not LeBron, but get one of these well-known people that people like that are part of sports. Get them to endorse it. And then you'll start seeing, you're not going to get all of Nike's market share. It won't happen. But at least the guy said you said exactly. Let me ask y'all a question. Now we're talking about Kanye. I never bought a pair of Yeezys. I never did. Some people think they look good. Some people think they're ugly. To me, I'm not really feeling them. But sometimes I used to ask myself the question when I see them. I'm like, yo, hold up. Are people buying these shoes because they look good? Or are they buying it because they like Kanye West's music and they like Kanye? I thought that a good amount of it was because people liked Kanye. That's what I thought. Now, some people think it looks good, but trust me, it helps when you have somebody that maybe you like his music or something. This thing that Nike and these guys are doing, it's not a secret. It's not magic. The answers are out here. The problem is I don't see who's going to step up to the plate and do it. Us as blacks, we're not business-minded. We're consumer-minded. We're not business-minded at all. You can tell by our purchases. You can tell. We're not business-minded at all. So Kyrie Irving been dropped by Nike and he's been replaced. Just like that. Just like that. What is he going to do? What are you going to do when you don't own anything? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, Nike's is still going to sell. There's no way we can boycott Nike. We can't do it. Some people say, why? You can't. Why? Because Nike has so much of an emotional connection for so many groups of people that it's going to be very hard. I'll give you guys an example. When I was in high school, I was never a sneakerhead. I had a friend that I went to high school with that was a sneakerhead. This dude had so many sneakers and so many Jordans. So many Jordans. There is no way you're going to tell me that this Kyrie Irving thing is going to stop these hardcore people that love Jordan shoes to all of a sudden, because they want to support Kyrie. Meanwhile, they've been buying Jordans for 15, 20 years, and you want them to stop all of it. It's not going to happen. There's an emotional connection. There's emotional connection. People were buying Jordans. They were buying Jordans before the Kyrie Irving thing came out. For them to break that habit is going to be very, very hard. Sneaker culture is I mean, there's nothing like Jordans, and Jordan is affiliated with Nike. You telling me all those people are going to stop too? It's almost like when people say boycott the Cowboys because of what Jerry Jones said about what he in that photo. How many people are actually going to stop watching Dallas Cowboys? How many? Like, seriously, how many? Some people will be like, man, I can't believe they did that to Kyrie, man. I can't believe they did that. But, man, I got to see this game and see what's going on with these Cowboys right quick. Seriously. So, to me, man, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, did Kyrie Irving deserve such a heavy punishment? Did he deserve it? And after going through that 6-step process, paying all that money, you still lost your deal? It's just crazy. You know, it's really, really crazy. You know, but it's a lesson. I believe it's a lesson, man. If you don't own things, people can do you any way they want to, man. I was just watching a video and they said that they laid off 10,000 Amazon employees. Now, I don't know if that's true, but to lay off 10,000 people before Christmas, they did it because they can. They did it because they can do it. Is it fair? Well, it depends who you're asking. To them, they're just cutting cost. And they got rid of, I believe, thousands of people. For me, I mean, Nike, man, you know, it's just a shame that with all of these athletes and all this money that these guys are making, none of them really seems to be business minded. None of them really. I mean, like, really, and their business mind. I mean, it's always on a level that really doesn't really matter. Like, you got guys starting media companies. That's fantastic. Right? That's fantastic. You own a media company, but you're still going to need distribution. So if you have a media company, where are you going to distribute your content? YouTube? Okay, you can say YouTube. Where else? You want to get on Netflix? Well, you don't own Netflix. You want to get it distributed in the movie theater. Do you own theaters? Do you own these companies? You don't. I'm just surprised that so many of them have not really, you know, started businesses to quote unquote empower people. It's surprising. To be quite honest with you, it's surprising. But Kyrie Irving, I think, I think Kyrie Irving, he got a raw deal, man. He got a raw deal. He posted a link, of a film that was extremely controversial, and if Kyrie is losing all of this, I'm just surprised that Amazon is still walking scot-free. But Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar, multinational, I believe. So what can you do? What can you do? They are not financially literate. Yeah, it's not even to be about finance. It's just about the thing of one. Okay, for example, there's so many people that do things. They didn't go to Harvard, they didn't go to Pennsylvania Business School or whatever. They didn't do all of these things, but they just have the idea to do it. You know what I mean? They got hustlers out there that are just doing things, making things happen. And to me, it's just unbelievable to me. I think the last real business person, if we're talking about pop culture, like culture, obviously Magic Johnson is one. I think Magic Johnson is arguably the best businessman NBA player of all time. Probably Magic Johnson, who only earned, I believe, $2 million in his career. And now I believe is worth, $600 million. I believe Magic Johnson is probably the best. Probably him. But the last I can think of that really was business minded was probably Nipsey Hussle. If these guys had a mindset of Nipsey Hussle, well, if these guys, these players had a mindset of Nipsey Hussle, they would be further along than they are right now. If LeBron had Nipsey Hussle's mindset and creativity, he would be worth billions. Billions. Forget about what he's talking about, right? Nipsey Hussle was a business-minded person. Thoroughly. The guy, think about this. The guy, not only did he come up with a concept, what is it, F the middleman, when he was charging $100 for mixtapes. First of all, that's genius marketing. He then went and bought a building. He then opened his own store, started manufacturing his own clothes off of a brand that he created, and then he used himself as the billboard to market it, so he didn't have to take his money and go give it to another person to promote his brand. Nipsey Hussle, if he was alive today and he saw that idea through, he would have a multi-million dollar business, because people loved him, and that guy was these guys are not business minded like he was. They're not. For that guy to be making those moves, name the other rapper that was doing it. They didn't have a platinum selling album. Master P was another one. So these guys are not really business minded. So now Kyrie Irving is out of a contract. People are like, boycott Nike. Yeah, but boycott Nike, but what's the solution? Nobody has one. And that's the problem. The other thing worth talking about is this. For as much as we talk about the community that did that to Kyrie Irving and this and this and this, let me tell you something. If you sit back and ask yourself how this community that we feel did this to Kyrie Irving, how come they own so many businesses? How come all of them are working together like this? It should be a case study. For all we want to talk about them, you know two things about them? They start businesses and they work together. Those are the two things we know about them. Yeah, P. Diddy as well. Those are the two things we know. The two things. In our community, unfortunately, a lot of us have caught this bug of hating. We see somebody doing well, instead of us congratulating him, wanting the best for him, trying to help him reach the next level, trying to collaborate him, what do? We start hating on him. We see it so all day long. How many rappers y'all know it? This guy was doing, somebody got mad. Oh, why is he doing this? Why? Next thing you know, he out of here. Just out of pure hate and jealousy. When are we going to start supporting each other? You do excellent job. Hey, appreciate that. Who is that from? Real Bravado. No, hey, appreciate that, man. We usually don't stay on this long to talk on the live, but we figured this is the topic, and we're usually like in a hurry. So today we wanted to take our time with it. You know, this is the thing we got to do. Let's stop hating. Let's start working together. Can we buy up Kyrie Irving's shoes? I don't even know what's going to happen to them, those Kyrie shoes. If they're going to discontinue them, I'm sure they're going to be going up. They're going to be pretty expensive on that. What is it? I forgot the market where sneakers you can resell them. I forgot the market about it, but it's so I'm sure they're going to be in pretty high demand. Hey, appreciate that, Cinnamon J. Appreciate that. So to me, they're going to be pretty expensive. Those Kyrie Irving shoes, they're going to be pretty expensive. Pretty expensive in the future, for sure. So to me, man, he lost his deal. I just hope that he doesn't, I hope at the end of this season. I mean, I don't know if Brooklyn's going to re-sign him. They may re-sign him based on how the season plays out. A lot of people were saying the Lakers are going to sign him. And, because they were thinking Russell Westbrook's contract is going to expire, that $40 million contract. But I don't know. Hopefully, this is not the last year of Kyrie Irving we're seeing in the NBA. Hopefully, another team picks him up, and hopefully, he's able to get another deal, man. Hopefully, somebody mentioned New Balance. Well, with the way Kawhi Leonard has not been playing, who knows? Maybe they should drop Kawhi and think of picking up Kyrie. Who knows? At least Kyrie Irving's there playing. I don't know what's up with Kawhi, man. I didn't want to talk about Kawhi. I'm not even in the mood to talk about Kawhi right now. Wasting my time. He got suspended and the price went up. When he got suspended, the price went up. Think about that. Yeah, people are going to make a lot of money. Nah, Kawhi is my guy, but Kawhi is too disappointing for me right now. I don't want to sit up here and talk about Kawhi, man. He's just way too disappointing for me. Kawhi, Kyrie needs to own his own brand. Guys, let me tell you. We're talking about Kyrie needs to own his own brand. Think about it. In Nigeria, the amount of smart people that have ideas that are looking for people that have money to fund their ideas is a staggering amount. A staggering amount. Staggering. Imagine if just one of these athletes, that's what Nas did. Nas put together a fund. Think about this, Nas, the rapper Nas. He put together a fund. And the fund was basically created for him and maybe his partners or his staff or whatever, his whatever, to now look for lucrative business ideas to invest in. That's what he was doing. And one business, I think, picked up, I think it was like a surveillance company or something like that he invested in. And I think that company got bought by Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, or Google, one of those companies, for their warehouses. I think it was Amazon. And I think Nas made about $40 million on that deal. This is Nas. You mean to tell me not one of these players, it occurred to them, not one of them, to say, hold up. There got to be a lot of smart young people out here that have ideas. Why don't I put a fund together that I can put out here to start investing in it and then get these people to be a part of it and then invest in some of these people's ideas? Why don't I do that? Why don't I do that? You now start empowering people, literally. What if one of them creates an app that ends up being as big as WhatsApp, or ends up being as big as Telegram, or ends up being as big as YouTube or Instagram? They have the money. They have the money. But what do we do in our community? We get money and everybody keeps it to themselves. If we figure out a way to make money, what do? We don't want the next guy to figure out how we did it, how we're doing it. That's what we do. And then when it comes time to hire people, we hire all the wrong people. The community that will feel like, oh, they're going against Kyrie Irving. I'm sure they think about all of the senior level positions. That's where they put their people at. But that's what every community does. That's what every community does. I know we got a lot of us that want to go into athletics and entertainment. There needs to be a lot more going into business. A lot more. A lot more. You can make way more money with your mind than you can do with your legs or your body or your voice. You can make way more money doing that, using your mind. The richest people in this world are not entertainers and athletes. They're people that use their minds to start businesses and do creative things. They're the richest ones. It's your mind. It's not your body. It's your mind. So people need to focus on business. Forget about music, because even if you go into music, you still have to go through another system. You still do. So this Kyrie Irving situation, man, I hope is a lesson for those out there. People need to start getting into business, and I mean, the opportunities are there, man. In my personal opinion, the opportunities are there. If you're watching this video from a developed country, the opportunities are there. They're there. It may not be easy, but it's a lot easier than what some people out there trying to make it in countries where it's still trying to develop. It is. You don't even realize an advantage you have. Something is like fast internet. You don't realize it's an advantage. Fast internet. I'm like, internet, that's an advantage? It is. It is. Some people are so creative. The one thing holding them back is fast internet. You may think that's stupid. Like, really? Fast internet? Yes, fast internet. Yes. And for them, who said this? New businesses, 97% of them failure, 97% failure rate. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's a big thing. Some people don't even realize it. That alone. Consistent energy supply. Good roads. People need to start thinking outside the box, man. So I hope this thing about Kyrie Irving, hopefully somebody watching this thing will come up with the idea to go start their own shoe brand. Hopefully somebody will. Hopefully somebody will. People are talking about, oh, well, the NBA is going to China to market it because that's where they can afford it. Is that the only place they can make shoes in the world? Really, is it? Have we thought about everywhere? So that's my talk for today, man. Thank you guys for being a part of this live. Somebody said bandwidth is a hell of a drug. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully somebody just wrote it down. Somebody just wrote it down there. Eventually, it'll make sense to some people. Somebody just wrote it down there. Thank you guys for being a part of this live. We really appreciate it. We definitely catch you guys on the next one, and also be on the lookout for the next video. We got a pretty dope video dropping. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys again. Nike makes shoes for $8, $12, and sell them for $150. Bingo. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.